What's going on, everybody? Good evening. I know it's a little later than I usually post a video. I try not to post videos in the evening, but something kind of, how should I put this? Kind of different has come up for me, and I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to set the record straight and kind of correct the record, I guess you could even say, on a video that I made about a week ago on Dre'Mont Jones. So, week ago, I made a video about Dre'Mont Jones moving from defensive end in a 3-4, so on the defensive line, to playing the edge slash outside linebacker role in Mike Macdonald's defense. And I talked about the ramifications of this, why it could work, why it could not work, why to be excited, why to be cautious, etc., etc. And in that video, I had this tweet on screen from Seattle on Tap. And I think at some point in that video, I said, this comes from Seattle on Tap. Well, the tweet does come from them, the one that I had on screen, but the original report actually doesn't. It comes from Hawkmania. So Hawkmania had the original tweet. You can actually see it in the picture here from the tweet in Seattle on Tap. So the report actually comes from Hawkmania. Now, earlier today, Hawkmania mentioned me on X and said that, your video gave credit to the wrong person. I originally reported this, not Seattle on Tap, and he wasn't particularly happy about it. And I think he was also under the impression that I did it maliciously or something like that because he doesn't like me and he's made that known several times on his X account. So I want to go ahead and, first of all, I just want to say that, yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair to say, hey, I reported this first. I should get credit for it. He did report it first, as near as I can tell, on X, and he should get credit for it. So on that front, I got no issue with the complaint. I have no issue with the concern about things like this, wanting to give credit to the right people. So let me say now that the video I made a week ago about Dre'Mont Jones, the initial report did not come from Seattle on Tap. It came from Hawkmania. Now, as for this being a malicious thing, which is kind of what he implied in his tweet about it, because he doesn't like me, I don't know that much about Hawkmania. I do know that he's tweeted about me a couple times, and it hasn't been very flattering. And if I'm being perfectly honest, from what I've seen, I do think that he misrepresents me and is disingenuous with the way he talks about me. But I want to be clear that that doesn't really change the fact that if he was the original reporter, he should be getting credit for it. So I do understand that he has a right to be upset if he's not getting properly credited, regardless of how we might feel about each other. So that's the main thing I want to say here. I do want to say the original report was Hawkmania, not Seattle on Tap, and I apologize for misrepresenting where it was coming from initially. The reason why it happened is quite simply, it wasn't because of anything malicious where I don't like him or anything like that. It was just, I had this tweet on screen, the Seattle on Tap tweet, and when I'm shooting a video, I have my X in boomer mode where everything is massive because I want the tweet that I have on screen to be the focal point. I want everybody to be able to read it. I want it to be clear and obvious in the video. So I blow everything up to a massive font size. So this is literally what I'm looking at when I'm making a video. This is what I see. What you guys see in the video is what I see on my screen as I'm making a video. And when it comes to something like this, something that is like news that then needs to be discussed, I am typically only going to spend a very limited amount of time on the actual news, and then I want to get to the stuff that is actually discussion worthy. Like, okay, this is the news, but what does it mean? What does it represent? How should we feel about it? What are the things that can work? What are the things that can't work? So when I'm looking at a tweet like this, I'm only seeing what is on screen, and everything that is off screen is kind of out of sight, out of mind, because I don't spend very much time on it anyway, unless it's something that I know for a fact I'm going to have to scroll through. Like when I'm going through a document, when I'm going through an article, then obviously I'm going to be scrolling through that. But when it comes to a tweet that has all the relevant information in the first sentence, then I'm probably just going to be looking at that. So when I start the video up, I just look at who tweeted it, and then I'll give a brief mention to them most of the time. and then I'm kind of off to the races on the actual analysis. So whatever's down here is, again, kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I didn't even really think about it when I was making the video. But yeah, wanted to go ahead and set the record straight here. Hawkmania had it originally, not Seattle on Tap. I misrepresented who actually had the initial report, and that is a mistake, and that is something that needs to be done correctly when you're trying to pass along news. And no, it was not malicious. It's what's on screen. I report what I see on screen when it comes to things like this most of the time because it's a tweet that has all the information I need in the first sentence. Okay, so hopefully that sets things straight. Hopefully that clarifies things. But yeah, credit to Hawkmania. He had the original report. See you guys later. Might see you on Twitch tonight. But if not, see you guys tomorrow.